Shahena's from the north of Bangladesh, from a district called Gaibandha. And the reason that she's in this country is so she can tell people in the UK the impact that climate change is already having in her village in Bangladesh.
আমার নাম মোসাম্মদ শাহিনা বেগম, গাইবান্ধা ডিস্ট্রিক্ট, কুন্দেরপাড়া গ্রাম। আমাদের এই দেশটা খুবই নিচু দেশ। ভারত থেকে পানি যায় আমাদের এই দেশ জুন জুলাই মাসে একদম ডুবে যায়। তো তখন আমাদের মানুষের জীবনের উপর খুবই ঝুঁকি পড়ে, যাতে জীবন রক্ষা করতে আমাদের খুবই কষ্ট হয়। আমরা তখন শুধুমাত্র ওই এখন এই অক্সাম থেকে আমাদেরকে একটা আশ্রয়কেন্দ্র করছে, এবং এই যে 2007-এর বন্যায় আমার বাড়িতে এবার পানি ওঠে না, বাড়ি ভিটাটা উঁচু করছি। কিন্তু আমরা তো এই বন্যার সময় আমরা 7 জন চরদুর্য কমিটিতে যারা আছি, তারা ওই বন্যার সময় মানুষকে গর্ভবতী মা, প্রসূতি মা, বৃদ্ধ মহিলা, তারপরে প্রতিবন্ধীদের, শুধুমাত্র মহিলাদের নিয়ে আমরা তখন সে কাজ করি, তাদেরকে নিরাপদ জায়গা রাখার ব্যবস্থা করি।
We're here in Ashton Hayes, a small village in Cheshire, which is a unique village, and they're unique because they're trying to become the first village in the whole of the UK to be carbon neutral. I think there are 1,000 people living in Ashton Hayes, and they're all on board. The school, the local post office, even the pub, for example, is right behind it.
What we're doing is we're looking at ways of losing less energy, we're looking at ways of using our cars less, using flights less, and overall, by working together and sharing ideas, we've been successfully managed to reduce our emissions by 20% in the first year of the project. We now have 10 solar panels on different roofs. We have wind turbines on the school, and we have a complete house, which is the lowest carbon house in the north of England, being built here as well. We have to go to school.
We need to walk a little bit quicker.
Hello there, welcome. Hi, hey everybody.
We do names and introductions in a minute.
Oh, lovely. Yes, please do come in. Hello there. Hello. Nice to meet you. Hello there. Hello, nice to meet you. So what we're going to do this afternoon, this lady over here who's called Sahena, would you like to say good afternoon? Good afternoon. Sahena is going to talk to you about the country that she lives in.
আমার গ্রামের নাম কুন্দেরপাড়া।
Kundarpara is the name of the village.
দেশে প্রতি বছরে বন্যা আসে, 12 মাসে 1-2 মাসে আসি, কিন্তু একটা বছর নাই যে বন্যা না আসে, কম হোক বেশি হোক আসে। তার মধ্যে কিছু কিছু বছর 1-2 বছর পর পর করে বড় ধরনের বন্যা দেখা যায়। করে থাকার এখন আশ্রয়কেন্দ্র করছে উঁচা করে আশ্রয়কেন্দ্র।
Okay. The floods are that high that if I get down on the water, I'll drown.
Maybe we should stand up and see her.
ডুবে যায় একদম।
I will. If I stand on the floor, it's more than me. It's still here.
Very deep.
So it's that high the water is.
Tara, we'd like to ask a question, Tara.
How long does it take for the floods to dry?
That's a good
question.
What we've discovered in Ashton and all the other communities is that the primary school is a real catalyst to the whole of the carbon neutral project. The children are so enthusiastic, but also when the children get engaged, the parents get engaged, the brothers and sisters get engaged, and the grandparents get engaged.
How many floods have you had?
So, how many floods have you had?
The common denominator is children are a real driving force in climate change.
এটা সম্বন্ধে আমি খুবই ভালো ভাবি যে এই গাছটা যে তারা ক্ষতি কম করে দিচ্ছে দেশে, এই দেশের গ্যাস যখন কমে আসবে তখন আমাদের দেশে বন্যার হারটা আরো কমবে।
Can I ask what would you like most in your village if it was dry? What would you like most? Would it be to have electricity, or would it be to have a bus service?
বা বাস সার্ভিস চালালে আপনাদের আরো সুবিধা হবে। কি সুবিধা?
এটা সুবিধা হবে মনে করেন শুকনোর সময় যে এই যে দেখলাম ছলার, এগুলো যদি আমাদের প্রতি ঘরে ঘরে যদি হতো তাহলে বাচ্চাদের এই 6টার সময় আর ঘুমাতে হতো না, পড়াশোনা করাতে পারতাম 2-3 ঘন্টা। তারপরে তেলটা যে কিনতে হয় আমাদের, চালের দামের থেকে ওই তেলের দাম বেশি, ওই তেলটা কেনার থেকে আমরা বাঁচতাম।
Say big smiles. Fantastic. And same again, big smiles for me, everybody.
So later on today, she'll be going to talk to students at Chester University who have an interest in international development and are studying geography, for example. So they'll be able to hear from her exactly what is happening in her own life and be able to take that back into their education and forward into their careers.
I wondered what particularly that involves at the sort of community level, how you go about bringing about that culture of preparedness for floods.
What she is saying that to cope with that, they are sitting together. So like she was mentioning that they're sitting and discussing the issues, what type of problems. And in terms of, practical things, other practical things she was mentioning, they're raising this land. You see that it is raised this land. If you see this one, it is raised from the flood land. It is another, support for the community. They are doing each other. They are supporting each other to raise this kind of land which is above flood. Women are badly affected by climate change. If there is a more flood, more cyclone, definitely evidence shows that women are the first victims of those devastations, as they are the most chronically vulnerable to disasters, as they are very much victim of existing poverty in the country. And to adapt with this situation, women sit together, maybe 15 to 20, or they discuss their disaster issue, they discuss their vulnerabilities. Women are trying to have more knowledge on the issues, and after discussion, they take the decision what they should do to adapt with the climate change situation.
The people in the UK, although they know that that it's important to perhaps not use their car as much and to reduce the amount of carbon emissions and to take public transport and all that kind of stuff, that they really perhaps don't know what's going on the other side of the world, and that actually their actions and the actions of generations before them over the last 100 years in this country is now impacting upon people's lives in places like Bangladesh. It's not about science, it's not about changes in global temperatures. It's about the lives of a young woman in a small town in Gaibandha district in northern Bangladesh, and the fact that she's now having to cope with freak flooding because of what we're talking about over here to do with carbon emissions and that kind of stuff.